Hey everyone, today for you guys I have my September purchases and reviews video. If you guys are new to these, they are basically the videos in which I go through all of the purchases I've made in September, so all of the beauty related stuff I've bought, and I give you guys my thoughts on them. I have since replaced my favorites videos with these types of videos because I feel like I don't tend to buy enough to constantly have really good favorites, and typically what I purchase in the month, if I like it, then it goes into a favorites video, and so I felt like I was basically doing this video but calling it a favorites video, and then some of the products that I didn't like I wouldn't tell you guys about, and so I just thought that this is a bit better, and I might do kind of like current favorites at some point because there have been some products that I've been really liking that I haven't talked about for a while. But anyway, let's just get on to the stuff that I bought and what I thought of all of it. The first couple of things I want to talk about are products from Colourpop. If you guys are curious as to everything I bought, I did do a haul video and you can go to my channel and check that out. I'm going to start with these Super Shock eyeshadows. Now these are just two that I just picked out that I have. I love these. I really do. And I am so excited to go onto Colourpop and purchase and do another purchase with them because I really love this formulation of eyeshadow. It's very unlike anything else that I've ever tried, and I know everybody says this, but honestly until you try these, I mean, I've tried a lot of kind of cream eyeshadows, a lot of, cream to powder stuff. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty experienced when it comes to different textures and makeup, and this is one that is so unlike anything else that I've ever tried. It's got the creamiest, almost wet feeling when you're swatching it, but then when you apply it, it immediately transfers into a powder, which is really easy to blend and stays on the eyes very well. I think that if you have extremely oily eyelids, you will need to use a primer. I, for one, have extremely oily eyelids, and so I need to make sure I use a primer under these, but that goes for just about any eyeshadow that I ever wear. I mean, I can have like the longest wearing 16-hour claim sort of eyeshadow, and I still need to use a primer under it because my eyelids are so dang oily. And I just think that the color selection on these is great. Everything about these are just fantastic, and the fact that they're only $5 is a huge plus. So I would definitely recommend these guys. The next thing I have from this haul is the Ultra Matte Liquid Lipsticks. Now I have two of these, and my favorite one is in my purse right now, and that is the shade Tool. I absolutely freaking adore that color. It is the most unique, most gorgeous mauve brown shade. I am so obsessed with it. If you're somebody who wants to kind of get into the brown sort of neutral lip look, but you don't want to actually be putting on a brown lipstick, that is perfect because it's got the perfect amount of mauve in it to give your lips some life. But there's something about that shade that is just like kind of smoky and sexy, and I am all about it. I think that on my skin tone it looks great. I'm just a huge fan of that. The other two that I got were Avenue and LAX, which I have here in my hands. For the whole $6 that I think these are, I think that these are great. Are they as good as the Laura Mercier paint washes? In my opinion, no. Those are far less drying. These are a bit drying on the lips, but I find that as long as I make sure I exfoliate and moisturize before I apply these, I get a very smooth, very even application, and overall I get really good results. And then the last thing that I got from Colourpop was a highlighter. This is in the shade Lunch Money, and this is a beautiful kind of a very traditional vanilla kind of color. Again, has the same very weird but amazing texture that the eyeshadows have, and I really like this as well. The only thing that I have with this, and I feel like I would have the same problem with their blushes, is this texture I think lends itself better to eye products than does face products. And thanks to your guys' recommendation, I was able to find a way that I really like this, and it's applying it with any sort of a beauty blender or a Real Techniques kind of sponge. If you use this method, there's something about the sponge that can really pick up the product nicely and deposit it onto the cheeks and give you that really healthy kind of glowing look. I find that when I try to use something like a pointed foundation brush, which I'll typically use, or I have this little sort of natural haired bristle brush that I usually use for my my powder highlighters because it just applies it really nicely and it's small enough but large enough to kind of cover that area. Those don't work as well with this, so I think that sponge or honestly your fingers are the best way to apply these. Now I've also tried applying it with a stippling brush like I would maybe with a blush, and I just have a hard time, I find, with a stippling brush really getting the control that I want and really getting it, you know, getting the highlighter where I want it as opposed to where I don't want it. And so for me, these are just a little bit more tricky. Is the pigmentation great? Yes. Is the texture great? Yes. I just think that this specific formulation, like I said, lends itself better to eyeshadows, where I feel like I have a lot more synthetic brushes, and there's something about it where on the eyes I can get it to blend really nicely and I can get it to stay, and it's very pigmented, and I think a lot of it just comes with the tools that you're applying it with. Like I said, I just feel that that works better than it does on the face for some reason, and it could be completely in my head or it could just be me, but that is my personal opinion. Would I purchase more of these? Possibly. I mean, I would consider maybe purchasing some of their blushes just to see. As far as the highlighters go, I mean, I feel like with this one shade, I'm pretty much set because I love this color so much. And I guess I would recommend them if you're kind of interested in trying out something different and unique, but I must say that I much prefer things like the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors, or like Tarte has a really great highlighter, just stuff that's a typical powder because I find it easier to apply and to blend. The next thing that I have here is like partially open, which isn't very good because I don't need it drying out on me. Fix that. This is the Ole Henriksen Blue/Blackberry Enzyme Mask. If you guys saw my updated skincare routine video, I'd mentioned this in that video. This is a mask that basically will go into your skin and has different enzyme properties. It'll help with the cell turnover. It also claims to hydrate and renew. It has the calming benefits of lavender, and it just says that you will see and feel a difference. I have been so obsessed with this mask this past month. I mean, I seriously want to put this on my face every single night because the feeling I get after I apply this is just unlike any other feeling I've gotten from another face mask, which if you guys saw my skincare video, I said that I was surprised because it's just a clear tub of goop and you wouldn't think that it would do anything. But it seriously has been such a miracle worker for my skin. It's one of the few masks where I feel like I can actually apply it, wash it off, and I can see continual results. It's not just like, oh, right after I wash it off, my skin looks bright and it feels really good, and then I wake up the next day and it's back to my same old skin that I had before I applied the mask. I actually notice my pores shrinking, and I notice especially with any sort of whiteheads, blackheads, any sort of pimples that I might feel kind of coming on, this stuff completely zaps those and takes care of it immediately. And so, you know, if it's getting to be that time of the month, or you know how you can sometimes just feel if you have a spot coming on, I will just use this and I'll apply it all over my face, and I seriously, it makes such a big difference because the next day I can wake up and I don't have any zit, and whatever feeling I had is completely gone away. Anything that I have that's maybe popped up overnight, that's current, again, I can apply this all over, and it's, like I said, it's a miracle worker. I wash it off and I go to bed and I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, my skin is so clear. But it's not drying. So unlike a clay mask, which can kind of do the same thing, I find that especially in the winter, I don't like using those because they are so dry on my skin. This actually adds a little bit of hydration. It's just perfect. I think whether you have oily skin or dry skin, you will really enjoy this. For me, the lavender kind of scent is just blissful and I love it, and there's not a thing about this that I don't like. Everything that this does for my skin is totally amazing, and I would recommend it 100%. And if you guys are wondering where you can purchase this, you can get it from Sephora. I was pretty lucky and found mine at TJ Maxx for like 10 bucks, so I love it even more because of that. The next two things I have here are mascaras, and I will just start with this one here. I posted this on my Instagram. It's the Maybelline The Falsies Push-Up Drama Mascara. This is a relatively new mascara from Maybelline, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people talking about it. As far as I'm aware, the claims on this is it's supposed to have like a push-up brush that is supposed to cup your lashes and sort of extend them out and add a lot of volume and kind of give them a bit of a lift and a bit of a curl. The wand is a plastic bristled wand, which I should know typically I don't like these. The only plastic bristled wand mascara that I really like is the Covergirl Clump Crusher, and for me that just works miracles, and it's one of the few. This has the typical problem that I have with plastic bristles where I feel like it stabs my eye, and maybe it's because I like to get so in there, but I just feel like I am poking like that skin right there between my eyelashes, and that's like a really, really, really delicate part of my face, and so I don't like that. And this thing clumps like no other. Oh my god, it is so bad on myself. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be everybody's experience, but this is the type of mascara that gives me 3 eyelashes. Unless I am very careful and I really wipe off the brush before I apply it, which in that case, I actually don't mind it if I can get over the whole like poking my eye thing. I do find that adds a pretty good amount of volume, a pretty good amount of length, and the definition is okay. And overall then I feel like it performs like a pretty good mascara. Not the greatest mascara, but a good mascara. If I use it though, just straight out of the tube, and maybe this is a problem that with use will start to get better, I seriously get 2 eyelashes. It is so hard to work with, and I remember the first time I applied this and I just applied it straight out of the tube, I seriously had to go and wash my face because my eyelashes looked so freaking awful. I should have taken a picture because it was so bad. So am I a fan of this? No. Moral of the story, I don't like Maybelline mascaras, and they need to stop suckering me in with their cute packaging and their amazing claims, because I have not tried a Maybelline mascara in a long time that I've actually liked, and this is no exception. The other one, on the other hand, I love. This is the Covergirl, the Supersizer mascara. I wasn't interested in this at all when it first released, and this is so funny because I have the exact opposite results with Covergirl mascaras as I do Maybelline mascaras. Typically with Maybelline mascaras, I get super excited. Like I said, I love the packaging, I love the claims, everything about it. I get it home and I try it, and for me it doesn't work. With Covergirl mascaras, because I had the same thing happen with the Clump Crusher, they don't excite me at all. Like, I see them and I'm like, there's no way that that's gonna work, or there's just nothing about it where I'm like, yeah, I really want to try that. And so I will put it off, put it off, put it off. Eventually I'll decide to pick it up and I'm like, what have I been doing with my life? This is fantastic. And I have the same exact thoughts on this. For me, this brush is life. I actually do think that this is a plastic bristled brush, but it's got the softest plastic bristles ever, where they don't poke out my eyes at all. They feel really, really gentle, and there's something about them that's like really wiggly. And so when I use this and I really get in there in my lashes, I can do that without feeling like I'm scraping up against my lash line, which I like. It's got just the best wand in the world. Honestly, guys, it looks like it would do nothing, but it's the perfect size where I never have to worry about this mascara getting all over my eyelids. I don't have to worry about it becoming a big mess or ever clumping my lashes. I can really take it, really get in there, wiggle, 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 pull up, get so much volume and so much length. And one of the greatest things I think about this too is it holds a curl so well. There's something about CoverGirl mascaras and their formulation. I personally find that they are some of the most transfer, smudge-proof, flake-proof mascaras on the market. And like I said, this is no exception. I love this mascara. Would I repurchase this? 100%. I am wearing it today. I mean, not that, you know, eyelashes really show up on camera, but I just like the way it makes it look. It's pretty. They're really defined. They're voluminous. They're long. They're really curled. They're just good looking eyelashes, and I can be having the crappiest eyelashes in the entire world, and I just feel like this works miracles. So huge, huge fan, and I would definitely recommend that you guys pick this up. The next product that I have here, and this is actually the last one, so you guys can tell that this month I didn't go too crazy with the beauty products. This is the Jergens Wet Skin Moisturizer. So this is kind of a more unique product. I think Nivea was the first one that released like an in-shower moisturizer, and then Jergens was pretty quick to follow. I have this in the Nourishing Monoi Oil scent, or whatever kind of fragrance. I'm on the fence with this. So it claims to get ready in half the time. I definitely think there is something to being able to, while your skin is wet, just slap on your moisturizer and get out the shower and you pat dry. That does save time, because when your skin is dry and you go in and you apply your lotion, you find that, or I find that I spend a lot of time rubbing it in and really making sure that it's not sticky on my skin and making sure that I can, you know, put some clothes on afterwards. And so it just takes a lot more time to actually rub it all in and get it everywhere. When your skin's wet, you already have all of that moisture on your skin, so when you go in with a, you know, sort of a lotion-y consistency product, it just smooths on within like one stroke. So you just go dun dun dun, you're done. You move on to your other arm or wherever. And so I really, really like that part of this. It's kind of weird turning off the shower and then picking up a lotion and applying it all over your skin. It just doesn't feel natural. It feels gross. You get cold. Like literally you stand in your shower and you're like freezing because you're, I mean, like I said, you are completely naked. You have had water on you. it's starting to freeze, and then you have to go in and put on a product on top of that, and that whole system isn't very, it's not very calming, or, well, that's not the right word. It's not very relaxing or very, I don't know, it just feels very odd, and you kind of want to like slap it on at half the time because you're freezing your freaking butt off. The scent of this is, oh my god, I'm getting it everywhere. Anyway, the scent of this, I'm not going to open it because now I got water everywhere. The scent of this is very artificial. It does not smell anything like natural Monoi oil, or it's supposed to have like some sweet orange oil in it. It just smells very, very fake and very plasticky, so I don't really like that. As far as its moisturization goes, it is actually surprisingly very moisturizing. Even though you apply it on top of wet skin and you feel like nothing is happening, it really does leave your skin feeling soft and very, very smooth. My main problem with this is that I have that condition on my arms, the keratosis pilaris, so my skin doesn't naturally exfoliate itself very well, and so I get those kind of red bumps, and I know a lot of people have this. I think that this is so heavily fragranced with like I said, artificial kind of fragrance, that it just really irritates my skin, and I find that it does not help me at all to improve that condition of my skin. It really just sort of aggravates it, and so I'll find that my skin will get bumpier and bumpier and bumpier the more that I use this, which I don't like. Part of it maybe could be this fragrance. I know that they have 2 others. Maybe if I tried another one, I would have a different result. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this. Would I repurchase this? Not at all. For me, even though it does save time, I will totally admit that it's really nice to be able to just quickly slap on something while your skin's wet, get out, dry, and then you're done. I really love that, especially in the mornings because I have to get to work at 8 o'clock, and so for those 8 to 5ers, this is perfect. For me, the fragrance is kind of off, and then I don't like actually how it seems to damage my skin. I'm not really a big fan of that. Now, somebody who maybe doesn't have that condition, you might actually really like this. For me, just because with my skin condition, I would much rather apply regular lotion and not get so many bumps on my arms. And that is the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, not too many products this month, but a good amount, and thankfully a lot of the stuff that I got I did like. So let me know if you guys have tried anything this month, if you've purchased anything new, or if you've tried any of these products, what your thoughts are, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.